What I Ate in Japan, Day 9, Studio Ghibli Museum Edition. So I had onion, bitter melon, eggplant, tomato, more onion, more eggplant. For breakfast, I tried bitter melon for the first time since I was a kid. I hated it then. Apparently, I still hate it now. Yeah, this was super unappetizing, which is surprising because I pretty much like any type of vegetable. Anyway, I had more pickled vegetables for breakfast. I ate it with my egg. Look how runny this yolk is. Anyway, I had it with rice, soy sauce. It was so good, so delicious. Anyway, we headed straight to the museum. They had this cafe in the museum. My sandwich came with a flag of Gigi, or the cat from Kiki's Delivery Service. I kept the flag after. So I got this sandwich. It was a chicken katsu sandwich, which is basically fried chicken, and it had like shiso leaves and stuff in it. Super delicious. And then I got this coffee float. It's coffee with like a scoop of ice cream on top. You mix it in. And I thought that it was going to be too light, but it was actually the perfect amount of darkness. I love this type of coffee. Then I had curry croquette and fries. The fries are really good, but what was really amazing was the curry croquette. So basically it's fried potato on the outside and curry or Japanese curry on the inside. It's oozing out, so good. We weren't allowed to film inside of the museum, and obviously I had respect for how many hours the artists at the studio put in. I didn't, but we were allowed to film outside. It was a very rainy day, which I feel like is very fitting for Studio Ghibli vibes. Anyway, I can show you guys what I got at the gift shop. So I got this sumo wrestling mouse. Basically, it's from this Studio Ghibli Museum exclusive short that we were able to watch while we were there. They only show it there and at some film festivals. This is what it was. Basically, the story is there's all these gray mice, like a colony of them, and they eat a bunch of delicious Japanese food until they're able to get giant and big and strong and defeat these like fat white mice, I guess. Anyway, it was super cute. I also got a keychain of another character from a museum exclusive short. This is like a dough man, and his nose is made out of an apple with a caterpillar inside. Anyway, him and this egg princess are basically trying to escape this like evil witch. Anyway, I thought it was super cute, so I had to get it. And I got this postcard. It's supposed to look like stained glass. It was very beautiful. So the museum has access to all of Miyazaki's like preliminary drawings and sketches, and they really show you where the ideas come from, like the art process start to finish. It really made me appreciate how much work goes in and appreciate his like genius. And also made me super nostalgic, like, and kind of emotional, because I've watched these movies since I was a kid, and, like, the art is just so, so beautiful. Hi, it's What I Ate in Japan, Day 10. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's been going by so fast. Anyway, for breakfast, I had this, like, salted cucumber. It's a pickling technique. You beat the cucumber with a mallet and rub it with salt. It's very lightly pickled. Then I had this cream cheese Danish from our local bakery. It was so delicious, and the crust was really flaky. For lunch, we headed out to this restaurant to get Hokkaido-style Japanese curry. Hokkaido is the northernmost region in Japan. Anyway, they give you a little bib so that you don't get dirty. I'm eating gobo right now. It's one of my favorite veggies. It's like a root vegetable, and I looked it up in Google Translate, and apparently it translates to burdock in English. Anyway, the texture of the curry is like very soupy, and it's kind of sweet. And then it came with some fried chicken and cheesy potato. Hokkaido is really famous for its dairy products, so this was delicious. So we had sushi for dinner. I don't like seafood. I know, it's super boring. So I got vegetable sushi, and I also ordered some karaage, which is fried chicken. So this is inari sushi. It's tofu skin, like stuffed with sushi rice. It's super good, and it's very savory sweet. And then I got this like hand roll. It had cucumber, shiso leaf, and umeboshi, which is pickled plum. It was really good. And then lastly, I had the karaage. It came with this like mayo-y tartar sauce. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but it really matches well. It was very crunchy and good. See you tomorrow. What I Ate in Japan, Day 11. I've been really inconsistent with these, so I'm a little behind. But for breakfast, we had some drumsticks that my grandma made. They're covered with like onion and simmered with a bunch of spices. It was very delicious, and I ate it with rice. And then for lunch, we had yakiniku, or Japanese barbecue, and it came with a bunch of sides. So the meat comes raw, and you get a bunch of different types, and then you cook it right in front of you on this charcoal grill. You dip it in sauces. The yellow is lemon juice, the dark one is soy sauce. And then they gave us some fresh squeezed mango juice. It was very tart and delicious. And then this is a piece of beef that was marinated in something. I'm not sure, but it was so good. You ate it with rice. This is some pork. I'm eating it weird because it was very hot, fresh off the grill. And then I started eating the sides. So this one was tofu with some spicy sauce on top. And then this was also more beef that was like very salty. I don't know, this simmered with a bunch of things. And then obviously I had miso siru or miso soup. They finished off the meal with like a milk bar ice cream thing. I don't know, it's very good. And then we had to go get dessert at this amazing bakery. And I got this like fruit cake, I guess. And my mom got this chestnut cake, which I honestly regret not getting. It was so good. What I ate in Japan, day 12. I'm going to Nagano today to visit my aunt in the Japanese countryside. So I had a quick breakfast of ume jam and white bread. The ume plums are picked when they aren't very ripe, so the jam is really nice and sour. Anyway, we went to go peach picking on the way there. And you pick the peaches off the trees and eat them right there. They're super ripe. You can see the skin peeling right off. Anyway, this type of peach is meant to be eaten when it's slightly firm. But that doesn't really mean it's not sweet. It's still really sweet. It's just a little crispy. Anyway, we got soba noodles. This region of Japan is famous for that. I feel like every region in Japan claims their noodles is the best. But anyway, I had ginger tempura and asparagus tempura. My soba noodles is grated yam, and it has a really interesting texture. In Japan, you would call this nuru nuru. So are these greens. They have that texture. But in the US, I think it would translate to slimy, which has a negative connotation. But I grew up on this, and I think it's really cool and refreshing, and it's something I crave all the time. And the best way I could, like, describe it to someone who doesn't really know what it is would be, like, the inside of okra, if you've ever had that. Anyway, we got gelato for dessert, and this place is really environmentally friendly, so they use leftover produce. So we had hazelnut ice cream and plum ice cream, because I guess that's what's in season. Then we went to this temple, and then we finally reached my aunt's house. She has this gorgeous view. I had manju, which is a type of dessert, for dinner, and then some brie cheese. And then I had this like glutinous rice that's wrapped in bamboo. This one had pork, chestnuts, mushrooms, and it's like steamed in this bamboo leaf, so it's this really pretty aroma. It was very warm and delicious. And then we ended the night with some fireworks. I'll see you tomorrow. What I ate in Japan, day 13. In this vid, I visited a wasabi farm, or in Japanese, it would be wasabi. Anyway, this is my aunt's view, and this is my uncle's house. He has a straw roof, which I think is really cool, because you don't see that anymore. That's my aunt's house for reference. They live across from each other. And this is my uncle's old style, like, fridge. This is how they used to preserve food back in the day. We went to a bakery for breakfast, and I got this, like, bacon, egg, flatbread thing. It was very salty and delish. Then I got this, like, Japanese-French fusion thing. It was, like, Japanese-style sauteed greens inside of, like, crusty white bread. And then I got this Totoro, like, chocolate-stuffed custard thing. He was so cute, and he was very soft and delicious and chocolatey. Then I went to the wasabi farm. This is how it grows. It grows in these, like, riverbeds. And the water needed to grow wasabi has to be very, like, clear and fresh so you can swim in it. And I walked in the water. It was actually so beautiful and refreshing. And real wasabi is grated. It doesn't come in a tube. And it honestly doesn't taste as spicy as you would think it does. It's more about the flavor. They've been growing wasabi here since 800 AC, I think. So there's a lot of shrines honoring, like, the original, like, founders. And then there was wasabi beer, wasabi ice cream, everything wasabi. It was so good. I was really skeptical of this ice cream at first, but I would honestly order again. The flavors matched so well. It was, like, creamy and spicy. And this dish is, like, noodles, but the noodles are made out of this type of seaweed. And yeah, it's not shirataki noodles, but anyway, it was really good. And then I got wasabi cheese, peas, and potato chips. Hi guys, come stay and eat at a traditional Japanese hotel with me. This type of hotel is called a ryokan, and it has, like, really beautiful Japanese architecture. On the tour, they mentioned that the emperor stayed here. So me and my family are here to enjoy the hot springs, and the hot springs are, like, built into the hotel, which is, like, located in the mountains. So I put on a yukata, which is, like, a traditional robe. This one's just casual, so you can wear it as you get in and out of the hot springs. Little room tour here. The floor is made out of tatami, which is bamboo, and you sleep on the floor actually at night. So if you like a hard mattress, you'd really like this. This is the garden right outside our room. I actually ended up taking a little stroll outside. And it was so green and just like so calming. It smelled so good here. And these are the little fishies in our pond. So this is a little bathroom tour. Obviously I couldn't film inside the communal hot springs because everyone's fully undressed. But this water comes from the same place that feeds the hot springs. So it's like very sulfuric. This is what we were greeted with when we got there. We had matcha and wagashi, which is like Japanese dessert. The matcha was so dark and so frothy. And this was like, I think it's called kazamochi. It's clear with like red bean inside. It's one of my faves. And this is our like multi-course dinner. So I started off with some wagyu. It's super simple, tender. It just had wasabi on top. And the next thing I have were these greens. I've described this texture before in my other videos. It's called nuru nuru. And in English, I think it translates to slimy, which is very off-putting to most Americans. But personally, I love it. This tofu and edamame like mixture also had that nuru nuru texture. It was like silken tofu with these like beautiful greens. It was so delicious. And this is some tofu skin wrapped rice. Very salty sweet. And then I had yuzu sake with like soda water. And this is seriously one of the best drinks I've ever had. This is some mushroom soup. So you pour it out and you squeeze this lime. It's not actually a lime. It's like a Japanese version of one, but it tastes the same. Super delicious. It was like such a flavor explosion. It was like tart, but also smooth. I can't even describe it. So good. It also had some little meatballs that came with it. They gave me this like tofu sampler plate. This was marinated in miso. This was tofu, or a type of tofu. It's called yuba. And I had it with some wasabi. And then this last one was, I'm not really sure what type of tofu it was, but you ate it with some radish and veggies. You know when you get that like hit of wasabi straight to your nose? This happened to me because it was like very fresh, spicy wasabi. Anyway, we had our other meal, or course, excuse me, which was cooked on this like little stove right here. And we had more beef and dipped it in this like miso soy sauce. It was so good. The meat was so buttery and the sauce was just like so amazing. I've never had something like it. And all the other veggies that it was cooked with were so good. Like this was some type of mushroom I've never had before. It looked like coral. And I'm gonna have a part 2. Bye!